Hello, accountability buddies. This is Les, and this is Less is More Healthy with yet another episode of accountability and checking in about my health and fitness journey. I want to start off with a quick, really huge thank you and appreciation for everyone who has found my Trevor Project Fundraiser. I'm doing the Trevor Project 52-mile challenge. The Trevor Project is an organization, a nonprofit that raises money to bring awareness and help reduce teen suicide for teens who identify as LGBTQ. They have an 800 number. They also raise awareness about teen suicide. It's a really amazing program. I have posters in my group space of their 800 number. Like I said, amazing program. I'm really, really excited to be raising money for them with my health and fitness goals. So the 52-mile challenge is to ride or do 52 miles of movement in whatever way you see fit. You can ride anything. I'm going to ride it on my vintage Kona, which feels a little risky, given the fact that I have been riding a more modern bike, something probably 20 years younger than that bike recently, with much larger wheels. So the Kona has 26-inch wheels, which was standard in the 90s. The Trek FX 7.2 FX has 700C wheels, which is a standard road size wheel, whereas the 26-inch wheel is pretty much seen as a child's size now at this point, given new frame geometry. But in the 90s, that's what we rode if you were an adult. I do have road tires on it that are narrower than a mountain bike tire, and it feels great. So we're going to see what happens in 52 miles on that bike. The last of my parts, just a quick bike update. The last of my parts are arriving today. This is Wednesday. I may or may not be able to get home and put those on tonight. It should be a relatively quick job. It's literally taking off the stem, which is the piece that connects the handlebars to the steering column or the fork of the bike. It's like removing six bolts and then reattaching 6 bolts. Very quick job. The only downside is that because I am changing the angle and length, I might need to redo the cabling, but we'll do that this weekend instead of tonight. So I'm really excited about that. I've reached more than the halfway mark on my fundraising goal for the Trevor Project. So that's very exciting. If I do hit the full amount, right now it's only $250. It's a low goal. I might raise the goal, so that I can, raise more money for the Trevor Project. So, if you're interested, I'll make sure there's a link down below for folks who want to donate to the Trevor Project and, watch my misery as I ride 52 miles. I'm not going to do it in one day. I'm going to spread it out over a couple of rides. So if you want to watch that, I will be videoing. I will be taking video of the entire ride, and when I take breaks, I will take video of it. So I'll also share my route plans for that ride. And I'm stoked to be able to do it. Anyway, so that's a bike update. That's a Trevor Project thing. That's a thank you for donating to a worthy cause. And so I'm doing a very short walk today because I am sore. This is one of those things that I think has come up more as I've gotten older. Like in my previous videos, I mentioned, we had an event at work, and any event that you go to, there's a crew of people that set up and there's a crew of people that break down. And sometimes those things overlap. And my job was to kind of oversee a bunch of the kids, make sure they were where they needed to be, but then also, help break things down and do all of that stuff. So yesterday, the beginning, I didn't help set up. So I decided I was on breakdown and that was a lot of moving. I was on my feet from 3:30 to about 9 o'clock last night. We were folding up tables, moving the red carpet, we'd roll out the red carpet, and that had to get rolled up and moved. And there's this point where I was like trying to roll it out of the way, and I would have in the past just this is heavy, but just I would have been able to pick it up and throw it over my shoulder, and I probably could have if I'd been properly prepared. But it was also super awkward and loosely rolled because of the way we rolled it up. And my coworker, who's a big dude, was just he walked over, bent over, and threw it over his shoulder. And I was like, yeah, I'm weak now. And that's a thing that I really want to gain back, is that sort of functional strength that I used to have. When you grow up on a farm or you're doing farm work, you got to be able to lift and throw bags of feed. You got to be able to lift and throw bales of hay. That's just something that you do. And that was something that I did on the regular when I was young and through my 20s. I still had a lot of that functional strength. And when I was working at the market, and when I was a florist, I was picking up and throwing boxes of flowers. And, you see the flowers on the display, you don't realize roses come in boxes of, is it six dozen? And then they're wrapped in paper and plastic, and then they're inside a cardboard box, and the box is 1 dozen wide, ish. They're a little wider than that, and then they're stacked six. Yeah, it's a half dozen dozens inside a box. Sometimes you got double boxes with a dozen dozens. But anyway, that's heavy, and I was moving and throwing those around, and I don't remember ever feeling nearly as sore as I do today. And then when I worked in the produce department, you get half bushels of apples, you get half bushel boxes of all these vegetables, and that stuff's heavy. There's nothing light about moving vegetables around. And so I was doing a lot of that on the regular, and yeah, that was always a lot, but I do not remember ever being as sore as I am today. Granted, I started doing that in my mid-20s, got done in my mid-30s. And so, I didn't have 15 years of sitting on my butt. I was pretty active right up until my mid-30s. And even through my mid-30s, my late 30s, I was still active. Not necessarily as active as I would have been before, but yeah, the soreness took me by surprise this morning. I had to take some Advil because my back's a little sore, and my hips are a little sore, which is interesting. And my right knee is bothering me. My right knee has been bothering me on and off since I switched the pedals on the Trek to a narrower pedal. So I moved the blue pedals over to my wife's bike, and I'd ordered these yellow pedals because I thought they were going to be a golden color and match the theme. They did not. They were a pale creamy yellow, but they were also, I thought they were the same pedals as the blue pedals, but they were a smaller, narrower pedal. And that just changed the way my foot alignment, and that causes knee pain. So that narrower pedal was not helpful. So I did switch back, or I bought new pedals for the Kona that are huge, wide platforms, with little grippy pegs in them. And that just makes pedaling so much more comfortable. It lets my right foot pronate out the way that it does. And, my toe on that side points a little outward. But this pedal allows me to do that and keeps my knee in its comfortable alignment, rather than the yellow pedal where I had to turn my toes in a little bit, and then that put a lot of strain on the inside of my knee. So anyway, the new pedals are just, they're perfect. I can't wait to put some miles on them. And so anyway, the pain, I've got all these aches and pains. I think some of it's probably residual pain from the rather heavy fall that I had. because I think that sort of stuff reverberates out and causes pain for longer than I really expect. So I think that's one of the reasons why I'm so sore. I'm hoping to take it easy this weekend. I'm planning on doing some longer rides. That's been on the plans for a while now. I'm hoping to get my wife out onto the rail trail, ride part way up to the New Hampshire border and back. There's a good chunk of trail, and I just really want to get some mileage in, to spend some time on the bike, because I really find that has been helping me so much. So then tomorrow, this is another part of the reason. In addition to being sore, tomorrow is a big day at work. It's our big show opening. It's a block party, and again, I'll be on setup and breakdown crew. Be also in charge of a bunch of kids, getting things lifted and moved and all of that. And that just means like lot of like functional strength stuff going on. Folding tables, moving things in and out of the building, and all that fun stuff. So a lot of being on my feet for a whole day. So that's part of the reason I'm doing the short walk today, because I know tomorrow I'm going to do 15, 20,000 steps without even thinking about it. Just running around all day long. Also, because of that, I'm trying to be more careful with my diet, but it's even harder to be careful with my diet right now because, the food offerings are junk food. Have a muffin, have a bagel, have this, and I know I can't have muffins, I know I can't have bagels. Blows my blood sugar through the roof, and it makes me feel terrible. So anyway, trying to be careful with my diet over the next couple of days. Trying to get some mileage in on the bike, finishing up all of the bike stuff in the next couple of days by this weekend. Also, No Mow May is over soon, so I'll be able to mow the lawn. Try and participate in No Mow May, so that the early pollinators have all of the things that grow in my yard to get nectar from. And I hate it every year. It's so much harder to mow the lawn in June when I don't mow it all in May. I think I might do mow once in May instead of no mow. But anyway, with that, I will say thank you. I will leave a link to the Trevor Project down below for the fundraiser and the challenge. Maybe you might be interested in doing the 52-mile challenge, because it really is an easy challenge. It's not easy. It's a doable challenge because it's 52 miles spread out across the entire month in any way that you see fit. So I'm looking forward to that. And again, I want to say thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the comments, the thumbs ups, the likes. I appreciate all of it. I'm on Instagram as Original LC Harper. There's a long story to that name. And if you want to see photos and things and not just videos, you can head over there. A lot of stuff is going to be about the Trevor Project Fundraiser for the next few weeks. So, and the Kona. I'm going to be taking way more pictures of the Kona coming up. Anyway, thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in, and I appreciate you. And I will see you next time.